Welcome to ABC East Lanes for the stepladder finals of today's event, sponsored by Coca-Cola and presented by the Heartland Bowling Tournament Series. Today's event featured 2 qualifying squads of 4 games, in which 1 out of every 5 bowlers on the squad advanced to the cashier's round. The 9 remaining bowlers then bowled another 3 games to get to the top 5 players. Qualifying in the number 5 seed is Carrie Smith. She will compete in the first match against the number 4 seed, Anthony Pepe. The winner will go on to face the number 3 seed, Brett Cunningham. The winner of that match will go on to face the number 2 seed, Rick Graham, followed by the finals match with our tournament leader, Joe Pelusic, facing the winner of match 3. Joining me for this live stream broadcast is John Fury. John, I know you a little disappointed you didn't qualify from the first squad. You averaged 233, but it took a 235 average to make it.
Yep. Yeah, I just had a couple bad 10th frames. You know, I didn't finish games the way I needed to, and I had a slow start. I think I shot 201 the first game. So it was an uphill battle from there. Well, 259 the last game. I didn't think it'd get me this close as I did, so.
Yeah,
that's right.
Still great bowling. Just missing by, I think, 8 pins, advancing.
Yep.
So we're about ready. It looks like Anthony Pepe is going to be starting on the left lane, and he will be going against Carrie Smith.
Anthony's coming off a real strong August. Won a lot of tournaments. Just good finishes and stuff coming off last month, so.
Yeah.
He's been bowling pretty well.
Anthony won the PBA Eastern Regional down at Connolly Park Lanes North just about a couple weeks ago. And it looks like Carrie Smith is going to start. Anthony chose to let Carrie start the match, so he will bowl second. And Carrie will start the match and finish the match. She comes high. Today's event was a scratch event. Had some great players, including yourself, the 2011-2012 PBA Eastern Region Player of the Year, as well as in the top 8 in points this year again. And then we have Rick Graham, I believe, is in 3rd in the points in the PBA Eastern Region, and Joe Pelusic in 4th in points. We'll see both of those on our telecast, as well as our tournament director, Jonathan Bowers, 5th in the PBA Eastern Region player points. So a lot of great players bowled today and are still here for the finals.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong step ladder. Nice hit there for Anthony, kicking a 7 out. Such a smooth style he has. Sure,
Yeah, I believe
envy of a lot of players.
Anthony seems like he works on his game quite a bit too.
Oh, you can see it.
Student of the game.
Absolutely.
He won our very first event here back in May. He defeated Joe Pelusic in the stepladder finals. Joe was the number 1 seed then as well. I believe that score was 213 to 212.
Yeah, that was a nail biter. I'm sure Joe's looking for a little bit of redemption. Nice shot there again, going flush.
Carrie Smith is from Lidditz, Pennsylvania. She has 21 300 games and 2,800 series. Her had a very fantastic collegiate experience. She was a 2005-2006 Rookie of the Year, and she's a 3-time All-American. She also was on 2008 Junior Team USA.
As Carrie strikes in the 2nd frame, keeps the match close early.
Carey made the finals by 2 pins to top 5 stepladder finals.
Yeah, she left a 2-4-5. Actually, she left a washout. I think it was a 9th frame. Converted that, left a 2-4-5, converted that, and then struck in the fill to make it by 2.
Some clutch spare shooting by Carey. Excellent spare shooter. Converts easily.
Did we go over what they're bowling on today? What pattern?
Yep, they're bowling on the USBC blue pattern. It's a 42-foot pattern, about a 4-to-1 ratio from inside oil to outside oil. Conducive to pretty good scores. Not the highest scoring pattern, but the 3rd highest that they recommend for house conditions. We did have one 300 game bowl today. That was by Joe Pelusic.
That was the first game of the semifinal round. Anthony starts with a triple.
And Carey Smith actually had the 2nd high game of 290 during her qualifying round.
Yeah, that was a real big game for her because she, I believe she had 3 games in the 2 teens. So.
They all add up.
That's right. Wide maybe? Oh, dead flush. I can see Carey's using a Forterra Exile by Brunswick. Can't quite tell what Anthony's using.
Did Carey use that ball during qualifying, did you notice?
She did. She used it quite a bit.
Like she may have got a little fast and maybe slipped a little at the approach on that shot. Carey is on Brunswick's regional staff and also a staffer for Pureit Pro Shop, as well as national staffer for Real Bowlers Tape and a vice regional staffer.
Get up a little bit. Yeah, leaves a 2-pin.
I like how Carey gets through the ball well. Very excellent extension on her follow through.
Yeah, there's not a lot of grab in that release, in that swing. Nice free swing. Good ball speed. Really moves the pins around well. She doesn't have a real high rev rate, but the ball speed helps the pins, you know, go across the pin deck, knock into each other. Helps her pin carry a lot. Balls are so strong today, you really need ball speed in order to maintain the energy that they can provide.
I know Anthony really loves bowling here. Won the first event we had, and the other time he bowled, he also qualified for the top 8. Just missing the stepladder finals in that one.
Ooh, trip 6. I always enjoy coming here. It's a real nice bowling center. You and your family do a great job running the tournaments. The place is well lit, clean. You know, can't ask for much more than that.
Yep.
So I know all the bowlers appreciate the tournaments that you guys have been hosting, so thank you.
Well, Jonathan has put together a good tournament series, and I think the bowlers do appreciate that, yourself included. So I will pass that on to him. Thank you very much for those kind words.
Sure. Stuffs another one in there.
Anthony tripped the 6 out last frame. That was high in the pocket. Do you think he'll try to make any type of adjustment for his next strike shot?
And if I were him, I'd be moving a little bit, you know, quarter board, half a board, just something to get out of that zone where you're beating up the lane a little bit, you know.
Yeah, what he wants to avoid right now is any type of high hit that may leave him a split 6-8 or a high pocket split.
Exactly.
He's
No, I think his touch is pretty good. I think he may even try to get the ball a little longer down the lane. You know, just get that much more extension. So match isn't over yet, you know. There's a lot of bowling, a lot of frames left.
Carey can go out for 247. Anthony, if he doesn't add any more strikes in a row, he's shooting around 240, high 240s, so
right,
can be very tight near the end.
Yeah, she's in a must-strike situation, though. High flush.
I think she's watching what Anthony's carrying and decided not to go with that light hit, but if anything, try to keep it tight in the pocket. I think she shot enough 2 pins and 2 4-5s already today.
Yeah, I think she'd be happy if she just kept striking. I know I want her to keep striking. We're going to partner up in a tournament later on in the month, so I want her to stay sharp. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, it looked like he got a little more extension there. Head pin flow in front of the 7.
It's a good shot.
You know, lose 21 pins, you know, on a double when you don't strike, so that just makes the match that much closer.
Oof.
Whiffs the spare left. Now we have just a 20-pin game. Just like that. Needs to regroup here, make a real good shot, get back on it. Wow, threw a real good shot, swishing 10 pin.
Well, that kind of resembles your game you bowled in the championship match with the last tournament here. You hit the pocket, had like a blow 10 pin and a blow pocket 7 pin, and came back with a 7-10 in the pocket during that match.
You have a good memory. That's yeah, those one-game matches go by real quick when you're leaving pocket splits and 10 pins on good shots.
Yeah. And we're talking about the August Heartland Bowling Tournament here at ABC East, where Tim Foy Jr. was the champion in that. You were the tournament leader, and hit the pocket well, just missed the pocket 1 shot, but couldn't get the carry.
Yeah, Tim bowled a strong 289 the game before that. I was thinking I had to shoot 240 and only had a bowl 2-0. Needs to roll up.
Ooh.
Shaker 7. She really wanted that one there.
She'll be down 31 pins. She converts this spare.
All right, she covers it easy.
I'd like to thank our tournament sponsor, Coca-Cola. They have all brands, Coke, Sprite, Dasani, Fanta, Minute Maid, Powerade, and vitamin water. Oh,
Great shot there. Snaps a 10 out. Keeps the hopes
fantastic.
alive.
I like seeing that shot where the 6-pin slaps the 10 like that.
Oh, that's a bowler's best friend. You know, you got a good roll on the ball when you see the 6 hit the 10 like that.
For Carey.
Perfect shot by Anthony.
Well, spare here, and Anthony
Spare locks it up. Yep. Trying to do the math in my head. I was a little slow.
And that'll do it.
Perfect shot. That closes it out. He's not done yet. Where did he go? Looks like he's going to go try another ball. Well, he doesn't have 6 shots, so.
Well, we'll see what Anthony gets a free shot here as he's got the match under control. Averaged 234 for his qualifying average for today. He's going at a 246 pace.
That ball goes a little high. Rolls maybe a little earlier than the other one. If he feels like moving in, swinging it a little bit, that might be one to go to. But I kind of like the ball he chose the first match.
As we finish Carey, watching Carey finish out her match, she can go out for 226. Carey was on junior gold from 2001 through 2007. And she is the high school bowling coach at Lancaster Mennonite.
Spare up for Carey. Good solid performance today.
Yeah, she averaged 228 through the 70 games of qualifying. No shame in that. No shame in losing to Anthony Pepe.
Not at all. We've all done it at one point or another. Losing to Anthony, that is. Yeah, solid 10 there and a real good shot.
So Anthony Pepe defeats Carey Smith with the scores of 246 to 205. And Brett Cunningham will come on. to bowl against Anthony Pepe in her second match. Going to watch our second match. Number 4 seed Anthony Pepe is now going against the number 3rd seed Brett Cunningham. Brett is making Anthony start on the left lane. I'm not sure what maybe he was seeing as he was watching that match warming up. Unless he just likes the pressure on him to finish the match.
I think that's probably what it is in this situation. Anthony's pretty well dialed in on both lanes.
Brett is from Clay, New York, has 23 300 games and 11 800 series. He's been a PBA member for 3 years.
Here's that bowler's best friend again, the 6 hitting into the 10.
Brett also was on our live stream broadcast yesterday for the handicap doubles event. Bowled with partner Dave Gerhardt. They finished 3rd in that event. So Brett from the Syracuse area just decided to stay down and make it a whole weekend bowling today's scratch event.
He's making it
Starts
pay off.
with a double. So sounds like Brett likes that number 3 finals position where he finished 3rd in 6 PBA regional events.
Yeah, third's a good fit. I mean, only 3 years bowling the PBA. That's very respectable. I know he's looking for that first win. That's what all of us want.
He's probably got it into the bracket finals and into the semifinals in quite a few of those events. I'm not sure how many were bracket finals, how many were round robin finals, but I would have to think that a lot of them were the bracket finals where he was in the semifinals.
Yeah, I'd happen to agree. I mean, the last few years we've been seeing a few more of the round robin finals, which I think most of the players like more. You know, and the bracket, you can work in your favor or against you, depending what kind of look you have. You know, if you're bowling really great and you bowl someone that just kind of gets hot for the one match, you could lose and you're out of the tournament. Whereas in the round robin, you catch that person for one game and then you move on. It doesn't hurt your final standings as much.
I know you have 4 seconds. Do you have many in the semifinals rounds?
I probably have at least, you know, a 3rd or 4th position. I probably have another. I have more than 4, I'm sure. Another handful.
And that goes along with your regional win at North Adams, Massachusetts, of course.
Fortunate to have the one win. That was a couple of years back in 2012, so kind of hungry again.
All right. And that was the year you were PBA Eastern Regional Player of the Year?
Yeah, parlayed that into Player of the Year, which was a nice surprise. I was consistent that year, but I wasn't quite following the standings for that, maybe as closely as I should have been. That was always a goal of mine, so I was very pleased to come away with that.
Done well in the national tournaments too, finishing 17th in the U.S. Open in 2011, and also 6th on the PBA Chameleon pattern in 2011. So looking for you to get back with another regional title here soon, if not on the national tour.
Just gonna keep working on my game. Light 10 pin there for Brett.
Yep. He'll make this, and both players will start off with a double, 7 pin for Anthony Pepe and a 10 pin for Brett Cunningham. Oops.
Oop. Looks like you got a little time, out of time on that one. I find that spare shooting, especially single pins, is, for me, more of a matter of focus. You know, if you keep your attention on it, I feel like you're almost never going to miss. But when your attention's pulled away, that's when you have those misses.
You think because this is a little bit higher scoring pattern than most, that maybe they have lost a little focus on shooting the spares? Anthony missing 7 pin the first game, and then Brett missing that 10 pin.
Yeah, that could be the lost focus, and possibly even spares mean that much more. You're not leaving that many, so you know you have to make every one. Kind of hold a little bit more importance, I guess. You know, you can't strike as much to make up for a missed spare, so it seems like you can never strike enough to make up for it. Tough one here. You got the bucket. All right.
Came back a little lapse there for Brett, but came back, made the spare for the bucket.
I think this shot here is really going to tell how the match is going to go. If Anthony can get a quick double on that open, that's what match game competition's all about. Striking when your opponent gives you an opening.
And Anthony Pepe seems to be very tough mentally, from what I've observed watching him both tournaments over the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's a disciplined player for sure. Didn't really stay down on that one. as well as he could have, I think. Soft 7.
Converts to spare.
Yep.
Like to mention an upcoming tournament. That'll be the weekend of October 18th and 19th. Be the Heartland Bowling Tournament Series, along with Pureit Pro Shop as sponsors. It's a 2-day event. Entry fee is $65, with a super saver of $150 if you bowl in all 3 Saturday squads. Saturday squads are 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. There's still another squad Sunday 9 a.m. to try to qualify. And in addition, there's a Desperado squad at 12:30 for anybody that has bowled in any of the Saturday squads. You can register and prepay at heartlandbowling.com. First place is guaranteed at $1,500 plus the USBC Masters entry. I know you've bowled the Masters this past year, and you did pretty well, John. You made the cut to top 64. Who'd you bowl in your matches?
I qualified maybe 31st or 32nd, and I drew a little guy named Norm Duke, well-known guy. We had a good match. It was close. Went down to the 9th, 10th frame. I think I ended up losing by 18 or 20 pins. Won my next match, and then went on to face another well-known player on his way to the Hall of Fame, Chris Barnes. And ended up losing that one by about 18 or 20 pins. So
wow.
And that we had a really tough match. That period we rolled on, Chris and I. None of us were striking. It was a low-scoring match. And that's kind of what I would want to see against him. So we had a good game of chess that day. But that was my best Masters finish.
Wow, you pulled 2 Hall of Fame players, knocked you out. I know you didn't want to lose, but at least the consolation there that 2 of the game's greatest players you were competing against and stayed right in there, just maybe one frame away from victory with both of those matches.
Yeah, this next year looks like we're going to Wisconsin for that event, so that should be fun.
And that's in February? February 1st to February 8th, sometime around that
Wisconsin in February. Bring your snowshoes.
Oh, that'd be a great event hosted by Heartland Bowling Tournament and Pureit Pro Shop. Jeff Smith, the owner-operator of Pureit Pro Shop, combining with Jonathan Bauer.
Nice collaboration there. Oh, scout for Anthony.
We've seen the scout miss that 7-pin on a couple occasions for Anthony, but that time it got over there enough to take it out.
That time the message was delivered.
Anthony won his first PBA title with partner Alex
Cavanero
in a member-non-member doubles. And of course his first outright title was in August at Colony Park North Lanes.
That was actually his first title as a member, but he has also won a regional title as a non-member. So technically that's his 3rd regional win.
Okay. I believe Anthony beat Travis Selmer down at Colony Park North, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Tight match, I think maybe 277 to 246 in an otherwise low-scoring event.
Travis, I think that's his third or fourth second place in a row up there in York, so tough loss, but another good finish for him. All right, high flush shot for Brett.
Brett rolled 239 his last game of qualifying to advance to the top 9 bowlers as he beat Brandon Hinderer by 1 pin as he struck out from the 9th and 10th frame. Tough finish for Brandon. He was actually the leader on his squad going into the last game. Bowled a nice 200 game, but the pace was kind of high and couldn't hold on to advance to the cashier's round.
Yeah, Brandon will be back. He's been having a good year so far. All right. Good double for Brett. Stay in the match.
Okay.
High flush.
Also would like to acknowledge one of our other sponsors, Local Monster. For non-technical business owners on a tight budget, Local Monster offers low-cost marketing and website design for small businesses. To learn more, visit www.localmonsteronline.com or email info@localmonsteronline.com.
Important shot here for Anthony.
The ball went a little long for him, I thought, but I think he liked the shot off his hand.
Yeah, a little extra speed maybe, light in the pocket. Good carry. That shot was important. You know, if he doesn't strike there, the match is only 4 pins or so, so wants to keep the pressure on Brett.
Brett can go out for 223, would still force Anthony to get a good count and a spare in the 10th frame.
Solid strike right there.
While in college, Brett won 3 individual titles and twice was honorable mention All-American as he attended Lindenwood University and also Mohawk Valley Community College.
Oh, a little high, trips the 410 out late.
It's the second time he got the trip on that lane, I believe.
It's back-to-back shots on that lane. Needs to increase the speed a little bit, maybe move a little left.
Needs
Got
to
to strike on
here.
the next shot. Looks like he was a little deeper. Packed flush.
Looks like he had to get refocused when he missed the 10 pin. He went away for a couple frames and now come back with 5 in a row. One more will give him 223. the importance of making spares, keep mentally sharp. I know
Absolutely.
he probably got down after he missed a 10-pin.
Yeah, you can't give away wood to a player of Anthony's caliber. All right, solid finish. Let's see if Anthony can close him out, which I fully expect him to.
Did Anthony go back to the ball he was using the first game throughout? Saw him experiment a little bit when he had that free shot in the 10th frame in the first match.
He did go back to that. He shot the 6-pin with the ball he was trying out, but never threw a strike ball with it.
No, that's going to be enough. If he makes this spare.
Yeah, must make the spare.
And must count 8 on the fill shot.
He did miss a 7 in the first match, so. This one's for the win. He's not missing that one.
I don't think Anthony has had a fill below 8 so far in our finals match. Needs 8 on this shot here to win. And he will go against our number 2 seed, Rick Graham, if he does.
Really amped that one up.
So Anthony Pepe defeats Brett Cunningham with a score of 226 to 223. And coming up will be our match number 3 featuring Rick Graham, the number 2 seed, against Anthony Pepe. We're back with match 3. Going to feature our number 2 seed, Rick Graham, going against Anthony Pepe. Anthony Pepe won his previous 2 matches. First one against Kerry Smith, rolling 246, and the second match he rolled 226 against Brett Cunningham. Now he's going to face Rick Graham, our number 2 seed. Rick has elected to start the match. You think Rick has a favorite lane, or you think he too likes the pressure to finish the match?
Well, he's going to finish the match last. So I would assume he's got a favorite lane at that point.
Rick Graham always bowls good here. Our June event, he finished in the top 4. The August event, he finished 4th. And in 2012, when the Pennsylvania State Masters was here, he was a qualifying leader.
Nice start there by Anthony. Yeah, Rick's been a great bowler for a long time. Solid player.
He's currently 3rd in points in the PBA Eastern region, and he was the 2011 PBA Eastern region leader in points. Rick's got a hot hand, finishing in the top 5 in the last 2 regionals, up at Syracuse and also at Deptford. How have you done in the last 2 events, John?
Syracuse was probably one of the worst events I've had in a while. Deptford, I did make the finals. We had an interesting format for the Deptford Regional where there was no match play. It was just accumulation of games. So we had the top 8, or 8 games
right
on Saturday, and then 4 games, then 3 games, and then I think 2 games. So there were cuts for each of those rounds on Sunday.
So interesting format. Usually gets a good variety of formats. Sometimes a round robin, as we discussed earlier, and the bracket finals.
Yeah, there's going to be a re-entry tournament at the end of the month also, down in Turnersville, New Jersey. It's going to be a 1-day event. So there's a little bit of variety this year in the regionals.
Is that similar to the squad? That would be a Desperado squad. That's going to be on the October 18th, 19th slate for the Heartland Bowling Tournament, where they give away the master spot.
Yeah, very similar. There's going to be 2 squads, also Desperado, and then I think some match play, single game elimination, I think it is. Don't quote me on that. Oh, almost the A10 for Rick.
I don't think it'd be a stepladder finals without having Rick on the broadcast.
Yeah, you said Rick's got a hot hand lately. I think if you ask most of the players in the PBA in the Eastern region, he seems to have a hot hand all the time. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Easy spare for Rick as he's hiding in his shirt. Had the skinny jeans on for that shot.
I can laugh because I bowled in a regional in Rockaway, New Jersey, and I rolled a shot, strike shot. I was tight in the match, real close, and I almost left a 5-8. Oh. And I looked back, and there was Rick laughing at me.
A little high there.
Well,
I think Anthony's better lane at this point is the left lane. It seems like he's having a little bit of trouble staying staying lined in on lane 6. He can hit the pocket, but doesn't quite have it dialed in.
Anthony's starting this game out the same way he did last match with a double and hopefully a spare here.
So game one,
Game one, he started with the front 6. Okay. And this is Darryl Bauer bringing you the live stream broadcast at ABC East Lanes. I'm being joined by John Fury, John PBA Regional Champion, and 2011-2012 PBA Eastern Regional Player of the Year.
It's great to be here in the booth, having a lot of fun with you guys, calling the action.
I know you'd wish you'd be bowling on the lanes, but you competed, did well, averaging 233 during the qualifying, but just missed advancing for the cashier's round. Still a good performance, and we appreciate you hanging around and being on the broadcast with us.
Yeah, sure. Honored to be asked and to do it with you. Of course, you know, I admit it would be a little more fun to be bowling, but this is a nice consolation.
Yeah. Tournament in August, we watched you bowl in the stepladder finals as you were the tournament leader. This time you get to watch Rick Graham and Anthony Pepe in this match, and they'll go up against Joe Paluzik, who's our tournament leader in this month's tournament.
Yep. Joe staying loose off to the left, getting focused for the title match.
Rick's on the Storm regional staff and also the vice regional staff. A member of Team USA in 1987, where he placed 5th in the doubles in Helsinki, Finland.
It's on my list of places to go bowl. They have the Ball Master there in January every year. Over at Tally Bowl.
I know you've done some international tournaments. Last year you qualified for the Japan Cup. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah, the Japan Cup was an event that I never thought I'd be able to bowl, just with how they used to have the qualifying for it, and then they opened it up for a PTQ, or a tournament qualifier round. So I decided to take the chance and go over there. It was a great experience. Japan's a great country, great food. People were really friendly and polite, and it was just a great trip overall. I didn't end up qualifying for the match play portion, but I still had a great time, met some nice new friends, and got to get away for a little bit, have some international taste of what it's like to compete internationally.
It's quite an honor even to be invited to bowl in the Japan Cup.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a little different over there, the way the way bowling is. I mean, bowling is the same, but all the employees in the bowling center wear bowling shoes. You know, you're not allowed on the approach if you're wearing anything other than socks or bowling shoes, so it's kind of like sacred ground. It's kind of the way it should be. Yeah.
PBA just started a region in the Asiatic countries, or Japan, just recently.
It's Japan only right now, but so if I'm not mistaken, Jonathan will be making the trip over this year. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Tournament founder Jonathan Bauer made it off the point list and was selected, and he'll be bowling in the Japan Cup this year. And I think you were just shy of getting the invite once again.
Yeah, I was 2 spots shy, so trying to give him all the information I have about traveling the subway and whatnot before he leaves.
Yep, that's very much appreciated. That'll help him out a lot.
So Rick strike here to keep the match even. Light hit, slaps it out.
Rick has 300 games. He just shot one last week in the Lancaster County Traveling League.
My goodness, 100?
100. Hit triple digits.
Wow, that's a lot.
And I believe number 99 came here in our June tournament.
Another nice shot there. Rick's got the carry working. He's got the flush hit, the light hit, and the half pocket hit. So it's a dangerous combination.
Our tournament producer, Brandon Bowder, reminded me of the fact of Rick Graham's 300 game. That was one of two bowled in that event. Joe Pelusic had the other 300 game back in the June Heartland Bowling Tournament held here at ABC East.
This for a four-bagger, keep the match even.
Anthony Pepe only has 80 300 games.
Oh, well. He's a little bit younger, too, than Rick, so if you extrapolate it out, he'll probably have 300 by the time he's Rick's age.
Yeah, I believe Rick probably has Anthony by about 20 years, I believe. I think Rick's in around 46, 47 years old.
Ooh. Oh, caught a nice break there, tripping out the 7-10 late. A little slow on that one. Didn't quite get out of the ball as cleanly as he would have liked.
Do you think because he didn't get out of the ball, the hand speed was off a little bit, slowing the ball speed down? Not
dragged
clean.
a little bit coming off his hand, and then slowed it down subsequently because of that.
Rick always keeps his arm swing in tight. Excellent swing and direction. Keeps the ball inside of the right shoulder. Allows for a lot of power and proper projection to get the ball going left to right down the lane.
It's a key word there, projection. Oh, kicks the 10.
And with that, he takes the lead.
Wow. Yeah, Rick a little unorthodox in his push away, how he keeps his arm bent, kind of brings the ball back, but from the top of the swing down, really good position.
Mentioned earlier, how good Rick has been over the years bowling as a member of the 1987 Team USA. So quite a span over 26, 27 years that Rick has been excelling in the sport.
Posted that one, likes it.
He goes up 21 pins with that strike.
Sets up the 10th frame. He knows now it's fate's in his hand. He knows he can't lose. rather I should say he can't be shut out.
Anthony Pepe can go out for 258.
Nice shot there.
As you observed, looked like he got out of that one real clean as compared to his previous shot on lane 5.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that one might have crept a touch high, but he was able to hold it to the pocket. We'll see what happens on this shot here, if he just throws it better or if he makes a move. That one looked pretty good to me. Nice shot, flush.
Reacted great going into the pins.
Yeah, he really trusted that one to the left.
Do you think that was one of his better shots of the match?
I would say so, yeah. So it's at least as good as any of the shots he's made. Which you look for that, you know, under pressure when you need the shot. You know, how well do you control your emotions, and are you able to make your best shot when you need it? That was another good one. Got it almost at the same spot to the left, but it didn't project as well.
All Rick Graham will need will be a mark here.
Yeah, that really opens the door for Rick.
Sometimes it's more pressure when you just need a mark as opposed to trying to make your best shot and throw a strike. See if Rick can remain focused on this shot. Think he'll try to throw a strike or just leave a makeable spare.
Yeah, I think at this point you just try to keep a nice relaxed arm swing, keep your form. You know if you hit the pocket, you're going to have a chance at some makeable spare, so. Exactly what he did, flush shot, perfect.
And that is why Rick led the PBA Eastern Region in points in 2011.
Rick also wanted us to mention he's got the Steelers colors today. He's got that working for him, so maybe he's got a little Pittsburgh luck on his side. Oh, and they won. This just in from Ryan Graham.
They play against Cleveland today?
Who'd they play? Who'd they play? Yeah. Cleveland Browns.
All right. I think Pittsburgh won that game in the last few seconds on a field goal. So good day for Rick so far as his team Pittsburgh Steelers won, and he's going to advance to the championship match as he defeats Anthony Pepe 265 to 247. And he'll go up against Joe Pelusic, our tournament leader. Joe has been in this position before in our very first Heartland bowling tournament. And that one he was defeated by Anthony Pepe 213 to 212. We'll see how he does get this one against Rick Graham. And we're back for our championship match between Rick Graham, the number 2 seed, against Joe Pelusic, the number 1 seed. At stake is $1,000 first place. Do you think there's any more pressure on Joe, being that he's the tournament leader, John?
You know, there is always that little feeling that you should win the tournament as a tournament leader. But, yeah, I think there may be a little bit more pressure. I know Joe really wants to catch a win here, so we'll see how he handles the situation. But this is what we bowl for, to be in the pressure situation, so and I know he relishes that. I expect a good performance.
Joe's always wearing colorful pants. I know in my heyday it was Guppy Troop that wore the colorful pants.
Looks like these are real bowling pants. I believe there's a lane on there, some pins, balls.
Definitely adds to the game. A little bit of showmanship with the pants, and
sure. You can't wear the pants if you can't play, you know.
Yep.
It doesn't make you look too good if if you're not up there. So.
Yep. And Joe's a 3-time regional champion. Been a member of the PBA for 9 years.
It's recently, recently signed a Brunswick DV8 national staff contract.
Good for Joe.
So.
Operates Joe's Pro Shop. Can reach Joe at Pendale Bowling Center.
It's a little bit, I'd say maybe what, 10-15 minutes north of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Joe's from, lives in Bensalem. Has 7 300 games in the Pennsylvania State Tournament. That's pretty impressive.
That's in that tournament alone, huh?
Yep.
Wow. That is very impressive. High flush for Rick.
Rick has two PBA regional championships, the first one coming in Rome, New York, and the second one in Rockaway, New Jersey. PBA member for 15 years. Excelled extremely well as an amateur for quite a few years before turning pro.
Rick told me his strategy today, wow, he leaves the 4-6-7. Strategy on the championship pair was to go a little bit straighter than he had been all day. He said he's using a rain of power storm ball, and worked pretty good in the last match.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if the lanes are changing a little bit or if that was him.
Yeah, we saw him leave the 8-pin, a weak 8-pin in that match, and that was the only non-strike he had up to the 11th frame. So every shot in the pocket up till that frame.
Super flush shot for Joe right there.
You think Rick went for the count on that, or you think he was trying to send a pin out of the back like you made the 2-8-10 earlier today? You were trying to make that, or were you going for count?
No, I was actually trying to make it. I was think I was plus 13 going into that game, and I figured I can't lose any more ground, and I was lucky enough to cover it. And I thought the pin setter hit it, but everybody told me that it beat the pin setter. So yeah, I was 1 for 1 on my 2A10s and 2 for 2 on my 3.6710s, which
Oh.
my friend Greg Hess back home would be not surprised at all to hear that. That's my famous league split that I leave at least one a week. Right, that's a triple for Joe. Looks like he's rolling the ball really well.
Yeah, it looks like he wants it. Joe had the only 300 game in the tournament today. As you had mentioned, the first game of the Cashers round.
Yeah, and right before that game, he asked me, should I go the orange ball or the green ball? I told him the green ball, and then he bowled 300, so. I take no credit whatsoever for that.
So I take it Joe goes for performance with the bowling ball, not to match his outfit that particular day.
Yeah, we got to work on that for him. Joe and I travel a lot together. We room quite often. But if I can coordinate his ball with his outfit, I think he'd really have a winning combination there. For me, I had the blue pants and the red shirt today. If I could have used the Optimist, that would have been ideal for me.
I know sometimes maybe you have to coordinate colors with our producer Brandon Bauer. I know the one tournament you guys look pretty good. Just happened that you both happen to wear the same colors. Ooh.
If we could bowl doubles, that'd be we'd coordinate that for sure. And there's another 8-pin for Rick. He slaps a 10 out, but I think that ball is just losing a little bit of energy with that duller surface or the solid cover it has on it.
Would you recommend him trying to make a change, or what does Rick need to do at this point?
Well, you know, he gets to sit down and watch Joe. And maybe depending upon what Joe does, he decides on if he's going to make that change with his hand position or his speed a little bit, or if he's going to change balls.
Right. So if Joe keeps striking here, he's going to have to figure something out that's going to get him strikes in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he knows what ball he would go to in this situation. So he should know what his step down is. And I would say to make that change if Joe gets another double, another 2 strikes here. There's just not enough time to fish around.
Ooh.
Oof. Trip the 4. It's Joe's email address.
Well, I don't know. That was probably on about 18 3/4 board or 19 board as it entered the pocket. I'm surprised that Joe was able to carry that hit.
Yeah, that one was headhunting a little bit.
Would you say normal pocket strikes might be 16.5 board, maybe 18 board?
I want to remember Bo Burton saying it was like 17.5.
Okay.
But
well, Joe's got it going. That's why he's the tournament leader.
Exactly. And that's how you convert on a fortunate hit to a great shot right on top of it.
Yep. And you carry a fortunate hit like Joe did, it tends to loosen you up and you get more relaxed. That swing gets relaxed.
It could only lead to better shot making after that. You can see him off cameras working on his swing plane a little bit, making sure he pushes it away exactly how he wants. All right, perfect shot for Rick.
John, it's a pleasure having you on the broadcast today. We really appreciate it. As
Pleasure to be here.
watch our championship match between Rick Graham, the number 2 seed, against Joe Pelusic, our tournament leader, going for the $1,000 first place prize.
Let's go ahead and see if Rick makes that ball change or that adjustment we were talking about. Looks like it's the same ball. He moved a little deeper and it went high.
I know Rick got to the round of 4 in our June match when he bowled against Matt O'Grady, ran into the same difficulty. He knew Matt was on a roll with strikes, and then knew he had to find something pretty quick. Kept experimenting, and in this case it might be a little bit too late.
It's hard to imagine Joe's going to hand the match back.
Yeah. Very
Stranger things have happened, though. If you remember Tournament of Champions a few years back when Michael Haugen came back and beat Chris Barnes from a 50 or 60 pin deficit. So. Not today.
Joe's going to take a re-rec on the left lane.
He wants to make sure we make a note of that so he doesn't take more than his 2 allotted for the match.
Wants to keep the pressure on Rick. He's going at a 240 pace. The most Rick Graham can go out for is 213. I think a strike here will do it, and I think that's what Joe's looking for. He doesn't want to take any chances, leaving anything on this shot.
Just wants, all he can ask for is the pins be on spot.
How's it look?
Perfect. When you see Joe hold it, when Joe holds his hand up, his follow through up like that,
yeah,
that's an indication that he really likes the shot.
And once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Coca-Cola with all their brand products, as well as Local Monster. If you're a non-technical business owner on a tight budget, Local Monster offers low-cost marketing and website design for small businesses. To learn more, visit www.localmonsteronline.com or email info@localmonsteronline.com. Well, Rick has come high on lane 5 twice this game, both time leaving splits. Looks like he's staying with the same ball. I think he's going to try to make an adjustment where he's standing on the lane.
He probably needs to move 3 or 4 more boards to the left. Make sure he trusts this one to the right.
He did.
Trusted it. And he struck. Just a little too late maybe with that adjustment.
Joe's a Brunswick DV8 national staff member. So he's the second player on today's telecast, that being along with Kerry Smith, that's on Brunswick staff.
He's using the new DV8 Schizo. Ball's real clean through the front, recovers well down the lane. I'll tell you, as a tournament leader, that's how you want to bowl in the title match.
Well, Rick Graham shot 265 last game in defeating Anthony Pepe, who rolled a 247. This game, Joe can go out for 290.
And it wouldn't be his high game in the tournament. Posted. Kicks the 10.
our May contest, Joe was tournament leader, but in that one, he lost to Anthony Pepe. This time, I believe he's making up for it. Not taking any chances.
Well, the bad luck run for Joe is over. He's had a tough month and a half or so of bowling. He finally can hoist the trophy.
And Joe's fan club riding him a little bit on that shot where he did not strike. One of the few times during the tournament Joe didn't strike.
Wino is his riding partner tonight. I'll be looking forward to a free meal. Oh, wow. Rick slides the 4 into the 8 pins position.
Well, good thing didn't matter at this point. Yeah, I expect it'll be a lot nicer ride home with Joe as opposed to if he would have lost that championship match.
Yeah, we also rode back together when he lost by a pin a few months ago, so.
And
I think Rick missed the imaginary 4 pin on that one.
And our championship winner, Joe Paluzik's going to receive the championship check from tournament director Jonathan Bauer. Another great event done by the Heartland Bowling Tournaments. You can check out the website at heartlandbowling.com for any past results.
Also archives of the live streaming, correct?
Mm-hmm, that is correct. And congratulations are in order for
handshake.
Joe Paluzik.
Thumbs up. Deviate. Vice. Heartland Bowling.
An enjoyable match watching Joe. Great competitor along with Rick Graham. Rick bowled 265 the previous game, just could not get on track this game as Joe kept striking. I know Rick will be back. Fantastic bowler. Always
Absolutely.
does well.
Rick's a tough competitor. He'll be back again for certain.
Yeah. Well, John, thank you for being on the live stream broadcast with us, and we'll bring in Joe and have a few words to see what he has.
He'll be looking forward to size check home, I tell you that.
Well, Joe, first off, congratulations are in order. A great performance again. Did you feel any added pressure this time? Our May tournament, you were the tournament leader and lost in a championship match. This time, did you use any different type of strategy?
Well, the key for me when I make the finals like this is to really make sure that my breathing stays the same, my hands don't get too cold waiting around. When you're the top seed, you tend to sit around and watch too much, and then you get cold. You want to try and keep everything the same as you did during qualifying when everything was under control. You know, we all can't run the ladder like you, Daryl, and just be loose the whole time. But no, it was great. Like to see more people come out and support the events. Guaranteed money on top, and paying 1 in 5 cash ratio. You can't for the low entry fee. It's really this is one of the better premier events in the state.
Well, I know you plan to bowl in the October 18-19 tournament at ABC West, featured by Pure Pro Shop, as well as the Heartland Bowling Tournament Series. You won the Pennsylvania State Masters event in 2013 there, and this one's offering a $1,500 first place prize as well as a Masters entry. So I know you're looking forward to that.
Absolutely. The Masters is a great tournament, and I always want to try and win my spot into it. I feel like I deserve, or you feel more like you belong in the tournament when you have won a spot. The Masters itself last year was a great event. It was at ABC West Lanes. I've always bowled well there. I really like that bowling center, and I'm glad we're going back. I'm glad, even though USBC for the state didn't pick it up, that you guys did, and it's another great event for a low entry fee.
I know you represented the state of Pennsylvania well last year in the Masters. How did you finish out in that event last year?
Well, first I beat Stephen Haas in the round of 64. And then I lost to Brian Goebel, who shot like 140 pins better than I did. And then I bowled Pete Weber on the high end at Carolier, and I took him to the 10th frame, but he actually marked in the. I made him mark in the 10th, and he left the 10 pin and spared it. But I think that was a round of 32, so it was 31st. I think I finished. Yep.
So you had about the same outcome as John Fury, who was helping broadcast. Won one match, lost to 2 Hall of Famers. I'm not sure if Brian Goebel is in the Hall of Fame yet.
Not yet. He should be. He has 10 titles.
10 titles, yep. And of course, Pete Weber.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And John lost to Norm Duke.
That's right.
And I'm trying to think who he lost to.
Chris Barnes.
Chris Barnes, yep, he did say that. And both by just one or two marks he had lost to in his matches too. Well, congratulations again, and
thank you. I'd like to thank DV8 for sponsoring me, getting me on the national staff. I'd like to thank Vice Grips for the interchangeable thumb. Makes going ball to ball a lot easier and a lot more comfortable. When my hand does shrink, when I'm waiting to round for the finals, I could switch thumbs and use one that fits better. Also like to thank Joe's Pro Shop. Joe's Pro Shop, other than Pureit Pro Shop, is pretty good. They're at Pendel Bowling Center, staffed by myself there Monday to Friday, 1 to 9. And thanks again for having us.
Okay, well, there we have it. We saw Anthony Pepe win his first 2 matches, and then Rick Graham defeated Anthony and our tournament leader. Congratulations once again to Joe Paluzik, taking home the $1,000 check. And just another title in your...
Yes, 43. Thanks a lot.
All right, from ABC East Lanes, we are signing off. Thank you once again for your viewership for today's live stream broadcast.
Thanks,
Thank you.